Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Bayonetta. I'm going to be splitting up the final chapter, the Epilogue, into two pieces, because it's going to be pretty long. As you can see here, I'm actually entering the Gates of Hell, and you can see there's no Bayonetta character model or anything on the loading screen, just like the loading screens of last video. You can still kind of like move around the spotlight thing, but you can't exactly, there's no character to move. And once you're actually in here and you decide to exit, you don't get the cutscene of Bayonetta walking out of the Gates of Hell. It's just a fade to black during this part. And with that, yeah, we've got some, well, let's just say the chapter itself is going to end up being pretty long, so I'm splitting it up into two parts. There's a pretty distinct sort of like a first half, well, kind of like a first third of it, and then the last half is going to be much bigger in the next video. But for here, yeah, I think I wanted to dedicate more time to talking about this half. And wow, they blasted off a rocket in the middle of a city? Like, everything within a radius should be just, like, incinerated, like, obliterated. That does not look structurally sound. That looks like it's, not a good way to design a rocket, but I'm not crazy enough to design something like that, so what do I know?
Thank God. There's still time.
I don't really know how the gem would protect her from all of that. I mean, it was just a gem, though, where Bayonetta's memories were stored. How does it, like, say, create a strong magic barrier for her? Oh well, whatever. Like, I don't know how, like, they use... I don't know what logic they use for all these things.
The left eye, our treasured left eye, will never fall into the hands of another. It is the pride of the Umbra Witches.
So during this part, we're actually playing as Jeanne, repeating like the controls from the motorcycle segment from previous chapter. We're gonna be chased by harmonies that we have to shoot down. They'll be auto-targeted on. They're gonna try and chase after us. They're gonna try and ram into us, and if they try to ram into you, press the dodge button, and that'll pretty much negate their attack. See what happens there? You get hit from it. During this verse, if you're pretty much hit by anything, you're going to lose your platinum, because it seems like nearly any hit will drain your health down to a silver ranking. And yes, during these parts now the loading screens have Jeanne in them. But yeah, when you're fighting against the harmonies, it's actually best to, like, say, slightly drive to the left or the right while doing it, because when they're following you, it seems like they've run into your gunfire easily, and you're able to build up a better combo. I mean, the combo isn't too high, but then all of a sudden this kinship bastard comes in to ruin your day. So the first things he does to you are those glowing bolts, then he shoots missiles at you, and then he shoots his laser again, which hits you even if it doesn't hit you. Come on, let's take a look at that slow motion. Look. Watch carefully. Did that hit me? No, it didn't. But yet the game still thinks it did. Yeah, I hate kinships. They are such shit. But yeah, like, this is the entirety of the first verse, just these fights right here. And look at those missiles. Again, slow motion. You can't avoid that because you can't see it happening, and it'll just ruin your ranking. And here's another example. The missiles just come at you from left or right out of nowhere, and boom, you take a hit, because you have to predict it rather than react to it. This part is very short, but oh god, is it annoying. So this is how you deal with harmonies. You drive slightly to the left or to the right while holding down the fire button, and they'll just kind of run into your gunfire. Now, in order to deal with the kinships, you have to start dodging early in order to try to avoid the little bolts that they shoot at you. Those aren't as bad. Now, for the missiles, you really need to get lucky, because what you want to do is dodge at the right time, because the missiles will give you witch time. And with that, you can build up a fairly decent combo. And of course, start driving to the left or right when he fires a laser so that it doesn't hit you. And that's all there is to that verse. But it has a bunch of little things that could screw up with the kinship, so... And you get checkpointed right immediately afterwards, so you have to start the entire chapter over again. Now, during this point, yeah, I want to show what happens if you get hit and you have to restart there. the little visuals has changed because you now have debris falling towards you. You're gonna have a bunch of affinities shooting their trumpets at you, and they are very easy to get witch time from. The enemies all die really quickly when you shoot at them when you start to get close. But yeah, going into witch time is a pretty decent way of, like, actually getting a fair enough combo for this section. Again, you don't need a high combo, you just need to have a fair combo. And right here is a bunch of joys that are shooting all their laser grids at you, and they die almost as easily as all the other ones do. Their witch grids will give you witch time, so use that to your advantage. Like, this is more like what I think the motorcycle section from the other chapter should have been. It's quicker, it's easier, it's not as tedious. And oh yeah, those beloveds with their axes are really easy to avoid. So just quick time event jumping off of these platforms, and that's the end of this verse. I love that shot. Now you're going to see here, actually, in a little bit, I think I restarted my footage of it because wanted to get a different graphic of it covering it, but I thought I screwed up the combo, that's why I restarted it, even though I didn't. The combo ranking for this part is very low. Right here you have a bunch of enchants. Apparently, even if you, say, dodge into them, you can get witch time. And then a bunch of inspireds fly after you, which I don't think you're ever able to sincerely hit. Like, I've been shooting them a whole bunch, flying straight at them, and they never get hit, and then you have to start dodging. But in any case, yeah, the combo for this verse is incredibly short. And then, just quick time you event your way to safety. Yeah, in between each of those three verses, there's a checkpoint, so yeah, make sure you don't screw up and you get the ranking that you want. So quick time event your way up at these, stone people's bodies, and you'll get your ranking for the third verse. Now, what you want to do here is generally stay as close to the bottom as you can. If you run up these things, the little bodies will start to break apart and fall away from the rest of the rocket. This verse is just fighting a collection of decorations. Very simple. Jeanne only has her main guns, the All-for-One, which is her equivalent to the Scarborough Fair. She has no other weapons in this section right at this moment. And all you have to do is just take care of them. Like, if you run up the golems more, this quicker they'll start to break away. You can tell that when they start to turn black and everything. And once you've killed all of them, just run. And that should be it. It's another simple verse. Just maintain a fairly okay combo without having to keep running for them, and you should be fine.
Nah, Jeanne. You've provided me with many blessings. The one and only authentic left eye. Merely seeing it must stir jealousy within you. Your body must yearn to feel a new universe form around it.
I have no intentions of gazing upon the left eye. I am here to reclaim my Umbran sister.
Wait, holy shit, did he just blow up the Earth? What is that he just shot? Was that like a moon or something? I have no idea what he just blew up there. But in this part, you have to climb up the, bodies again, except you have to dodge all these little, meteors that are coming after you. There will always be telegraphed, but if you try to dodge one out of the way, you may accidentally fall into the path of another and get yourself hurt, and you'll have to start over from, fighting the decorations again. So just be careful where you're landing. This part can be actually a bit trickier than you might expect. But once you've cleared them, the verse is over, and it'll count your tallies against the decorations. And now it's time to climb up this statue that Baldur built to house Jubileus' body in. However, don't go up too fast. Yeah, I say as I go into Panther form running up, but there's a point up here where you're going to want to stop. It's just a little bit beyond the breasts of the statue. I'd say right around here, down this part right here. Now you want to run all the way back down. What's this? Backtracking? Why, it must mean an Alfheim. Yes, indeed, we are about to enter the final Alfheim of the game and get the final broken witch heart piece to complete our health bar. And it's all the way back down here, right at this little section. And we're going to be tackling this Alfheim with Jeanne. So when you actually get to this point, you actually see she's wearing the accessories that you've had equipped before with Bayonetta, actually. And she has her own quotes that she says, you know, like whenever you press the taunt button. So, I wanted to point out here that Jeanne is the unlockable character. You get her by platinuming every chapter on normal mode, and that's why I'm doing this. You can see she has all the weapons you've had unlocked as Bayonetta, except they all have different designs and they all have different names, even though they all do the same things. So yeah, these are all the weapons you get when you play through Jeanne's story mode, eventually when you unlock her, and you get these from the gold LPs, and they all have different descriptions of what they mean and what they are and everything. What I'm doing here is actually equipping the Durgas or the Collies to the second weapon set, because after you finish Jeanne's section right here through this Alfheim, you're going to be playing as Bayonetta again, and I want the weapons that I want to use to fight against the final boss to be equipped there through the autosave, so I don't have to keep restarting and re-equipping every time I need to exit to the title screen. But for this Alfheim, it's very simple, just use Wicked Weaves. So use a standard punch-kick-punch combo with the Angel Slayer, that's Jeanne's sword, which is in place as Shiraba. So I'm going to use this time to exactly explain how Jeanne plays. Like, for the most part, she is exactly like Bayonetta, with very few exceptions. Her Wicked Weave attacks are 1.5 times stronger than Bayonetta's, which is very nice. But in exchange for that extra power, she can't get Witch Time through dodging enemy attacks. She can only get Witch Time through dodging enemy attacks if it's through the Bat Within, or the Moth Within for Jeanne case. She turns into moths instead of bats when she gets uses that dodge. But yeah, if you know you just barely dodge an attack, you're not going to get Witch Time from it. That's what she does. So it's much harder to get Witch Time with her. However, another thing that's good about here, that because she can't do that, I don't know if you've noticed during the playthrough, but when I've been playing as Bayonetta, there are some points where she, like, jumps, like, dodges backwards and, like, lands on all fours for, like, a second. Bayonetta can only dodge 5 times in a row before she does that, so she can only dodge 5 times before having to stop for a second to regain speed or something, to have a cooldown moment, and that could leave you vulnerable for, like, a second or two. Jeanne does not have that. You can dodge infinitely as many times as you want, and she will never have to cool down from the dodge. It's quite useful, so those are the trade-offs between the two. Different ways of getting Witch Time, different requirements of dodging, and different Wicked Weave attack strength. So that's the only, like, gameplay differences between the two. But yeah, that's all you had to do for these guys, was just use the Wicked Weaves, and because hers are stronger, I got through that pretty quickly. You will always play through this Alfheim as Jeanne. It will always be a Wicked Weaves only Alfheim, so that's pretty much a strategy you would have to use regardless of difficulty. But with that, look at that. We finally got every single collectible in normal mode. We have the maximum life bar, we have the maximum magic bar. Everything's great. Everything has been collected. Except for the other crows, which I will talk about later in the in an extra video. Hey, Jeanne, good job.
You motherfucker.
Excuse me, Jeanne, that is rude. Don't say that to me.
You motherfucker.
Why, you little... You know what, I'm glad I'm not going to be playing as you anymore. Grr. Stop calling you that. Get up to the top and just let's switch to Bayonetta. But basically, once you finish this part of climb up here, we're going to have a cutscene, and that's going to be the end of Jeanne's section of the epilogue. After that, I'm going to cut to black, and I'm going to save the next part, where you play as Bayonetta during the final boss fight, for the next video. So, I'll see you then.
The time has come for Jubileus to return. At last, the Trinity of Realities will know their real ruler, and time will begin anew.
Cereza, wake up!
Are you insane? Light and dark. Unless both sides remain, the universe will lose its balance and face another Armageddon.
Then this thing should have slept for eternity. Now you must wake up, Cereza. Cereza! Cereza! Damn you! Open your eyes! Jeanne. Theresa, you aren't the person I sealed away 500 years ago. You have the strength to overcome this and fight. Finish this.
Control Jubileus now. His power is too intense. Light, dark, human. All the strife, all the struggle. The trinity of realities wrapped up in a vortex of creation.
Check it out, everyone. The final boss. And would you believe it? God is a woman.
Rest, my friend. I'm off to get that black cat.
To be concluded.